How's it going, guys? This is Vlad and welcome to the second tutorial on Altium Designer. As you can see, we left off with a few resistors, a capacitor, an LED, and a header for our circuit. We are currently building the simple 555 timer circuit, and let's get started on the layout for our IC, which is the main component of our circuit. So to do that, you go into your project, you right click, add new to project, and we're gonna get started with the PCB library before making the schematic one. So add the PCB library, save that in your project, and just a few quick notes. In your top left corner, you got your XY coordinates as well as the the coordinates for your offset. So what that is basically, as you can see, there's a grid and your origin is set at 0, 0, and at any point in time you can press insert to reset the second coordinates to wherever your cursor is. So you can just go here, for example, and press insert, and that's going to be your 0, 0, and this is used to facilitate component design and pad placement, as you will see very soon. So to get started on making your LM555 timer and the library for the IC, we're going to go to the PCB library, and as you can see, Altium Designer already made a first component for you, so you can double click on that and change its name. So LM555 dip, because that's the package that we're going to use today. LM555 dip IC. For your description, press OK, and there you have it. So before we start placing pads for our circuit, we need to know exactly what the layout is. So you can go to DigiKey, for example, or any other supplier, and look for a data sheet for that specific component. So here you have data sheet. You press on that and you get this very nice detailed data sheet from Texas Instruments in this case. So for the layout of the DIP IC, you can see you have all the dimensions here in inches as well as millimeters. So make sure to pay close attention to those when you create your packages. So as you can see, you have your pins 1 through 4 and then 5 through 8. And let's get started with the first row of pads in Altium Designer. So for that, you can either click this button, place pad, or you can press P twice. So as you can see you get this very nice little round pad, and to change its settings you press tab on your keyboard, and as you can see right now it's actually the perfect size, as I've actually corrected some of the details for this pad. So 30 mil, that's your standard dip size drill, and that's based off the width of your pad. You generally want to make it a bit larger than this. And your size and shape, obviously it's a round shape, and your solder mask is going to be 60 mil, which is good. The location doesn't matter for us right now because I'm going to show you how to put a linear stack of these pads. And we're going to start with a designator 1. So let's put the pad, and it doesn't really matter where you put it at first, so just drop it here and press escape. And right now what we're gonna do is copy this pad with the right key, and you want to set the location to the middle because to make your offset easier. So just click your left mouse key on it and delete the pad with the delete key. So right now we're gonna go into edit, paste special, uncheck that, paste array, item count. Now the item count is used to specify how many pins you're going to have in your array. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that means you have 4 pins, and the text increment is obviously going to be 1 in this case. It may be different from for other ICs. So it's going to be a linear array, and the X spacing is going to be 100 mil. So we're going to start from the origin, and each pin is going to have 100 mil in between it. The Y spacing is going to be 0 in this case because we want them all to be horizontal. Press OK, and you want to press at the origin. So as you can see, it's 0, 0 in the top left corner, and there you go. So you have your first 4 pins ready for your IC, and now we're going to see what the spacing is between these 4 and the top 4. So as you can see, it's 0.24 to 0.26 inches, so we're going to go with 0.25, which is 250 mil. And in this case, you can see you can increment from the 5th pin to the 8th. So we can easily do this by, first of all, we're going to set the origin at the 4th pin by pressing the insert key. There you go, so that's our 0, 0. We're going to go back into our paste special. We're going to paste array. The white spacing is going to remain the same, but we're walking now from right to left, so we're going to have to do minus 100 mil in this case. We're still going to have 4 pins, and the text increment is going to be by 1. So as you can see right now, I can very easily just stay aligned with this pad and then place our 5th pad at 0 to 50, as you can see in the top left corner. So there you go, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pins for your IC. So you're done with the pads now, and as a general idea, you want to make a top overlay by clicking down here, and you make a line for your circuit. And this doesn't need to be very specific. This is just a general outline of your IC. So it's obviously a rectangular shape, so you just make a quick outline of it. And I usually like to place a dot here just to make sure I remember the orientation. It's not crucial, but it's nice to have it there. So you're done with that, and you can save your layout by clicking on the save button. You're now gonna go into projects, and you're gonna create a schematic library for your IC, because you need to specify which pin is what. So schematic library, and you're gonna get this very nice blank page. You're gonna navigate into schematic library right here, and again you have your component 1. So default designator, this is your in this case it's gonna be an IC, so you can do IC, or sometimes you can do U, which should also be okay. Description, this LM555 timer dip IC. For your models, you're gonna add a footprint by clicking down right here. You're gonna browse, and the first component that it sees is the library that you've created, so select that, press OK, OK, and it should show you your current footprint for this IC. So as you can see, it shows in the bottom right corner. So we're gonna start by creating the outline of the IC. It has 8 pins, so what I generally like to do is keeping 2 pins, which is the ground and the VCC, at the bottom and top, and then I would simply have the other pins on the sides. And what I mean by that is that you're gonna have 1, 2, 3 pins, and 1 ground and 1 VCC on top. So let's start creating the pins. You can just you can click place pins, and before we do that, to make sure which pin is which, you have to refer back to either your data sheet or you can take a look at the circuit. They also specify that in the circuit, so you can have your pins 1 through 8. But we're gonna go with TI layout. So pin 1 is ground, so you want to place your first pin, and press tab to edit the pin. So the display name is the designator is 1, and the display GND ground. Passive pin location length, I usually like to keep the ground fairly short, so 20 is okay by me. To rotate the pin, it's space, just like we did before. So you can place ground here at the bottom. Pin number 2 is check your circuit again, so it's the trigger and trigger, and this is going to be a bit a longer pin, so 30 is good for that. Let's make our rectangle a bit bigger so everything fits nicely. Maybe we can reduce it by 1. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, there you go. That looks pretty good to me. So that is your trigger pin. Let's keep going. Pin number 3 is going to be the output pin. So output. And there you go, output pin. Pin number 4. Pin number 4 is the reset pin. And keep in mind, you can place these pins wherever you want on your circuit. You don't have to just follow the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can place them if you feel comfortable in a different layout. That's all up to you. So pin number 5 is control voltage. So we're just gonna put control. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it at the bottom here. Pin number 6 is going to be your threshold pin. I'm gonna place it right here. Pin number 7 is the discharge. Okay. Place it right here, and I'm guessing the last one is the voltage, so VCC, so pin 8 is VCC. And once again, we're gonna make it a bit shorter, so 20. Rotate it correctly, and there you go. That's my general standard layout for the ICs. I like to have ground on the bottom and VCC on top. For larger ICs, it could be a bit different because you're gonna have a lot of different grounds and voltages coming into it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna save our circuit and save it as it was in your project. And now you can go back to your project, you go back to your schematic, and we can add a part just like we did before. Click on choose, go into the schematic library. As you can see, our component is right there. So you're gonna click OK, OK, and you're gonna put that right in the middle as we want it. Alright, so that was the second tutorial. We got our IC done, and in the last tutorial we're gonna finalize the connections and make the PCB board. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and let me know if you have any comments, concerns, or any suggestions for these tutorials. Thank you very much. Bye.